Promotions is proud to present the rerounds of mixed martial arts in the lightweight division. This bout is sponsored in part by Mexi Goods. Introducing our referee in charge of this bout, Michael Bell. And now, introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing black trunks. He is training out of Millennia MMA in Rancho Cucamonga by way of Coachella Valley. He weighed in 154 pounds. Tonight, he is making his debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Abdulsalam. His opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing gray trunks. He is training out of Apex Boxing in San Fernando Valley by way of Pacoima. He weighed in 145 pounds. He is also making his debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Carlos Castaneda. All right, fans, here we go. The rerounds of mixed martial arts in the lightweight division.
All right, and if you take a look at Carlos Castaneda's Instagram, it says above average and murder the alpha on the translation. Unless I got it right. He's going to be coming in.
Okay, yeah. Look, starting it off strong. Oh my goodness, just throwing and connects right away. And this one is scrap for sure. Down on the single leg, probably for the best, right? Because they were both just throwing some wild punches there.
You get the sense that if you can control the fight a little bit, maybe that's a better choice from just stand and bang, because it looked a little bit risky for both individuals on that one.
Yeah, and it looks like
Carlos? Yeah, so Carlos is defending this one right now, and then Abdulsalam is on top. So I think Abdul's name is what he's being branded.
Yeah, and you can see Abdul sitting up over this is very like a Khabib style, locking up. It's like a double Turk. It's locking up both legs, and this keeps the bottom person from being able to stand up. Unfortunately, though, Carlos on the bottom is looking to try to attack some type of choke, but
it is very difficult to do when you have no mobility from there.
Yes, and especially if your opponent is putting their head in the middle, which he was, but initially at least. But now the head is out here on one of the sides, so definitely available to be choked if Carlos could set it up properly.
It should be noted that Abdul also trains over at Millennia MMA. They're good with pressure, excellent work. Whenever they're on top, they don't let you really just rest. You've seen Carlos take some deep breaths in the first minute. So now that he gets the opportunity to go for this
like
choke.
A 10-finger guillotine here, or just a chin strap guillotine. Difficult one to finish, especially as
short on
gets
time,
to the side too. Yeah, but pretty pretty up, down, and all around match though for the first round. Curious to see how this goes in the second round.
Yeah, and I would tell Carlos this: been there, my friend. Sometimes you want that choke to avail itself, but it is difficult. So if your legs are that tied up, you want to kind of like go out just a little bit, just to get that little bit of leverage to get your arm underneath to try and trap the head. So if it's stuck like it was there, it's a good idea. Harder to execute in that particular moment. So a big credit to Abdul, who was able to turn that around very quickly, realized it's going to be a gunfight, and made it better for his terms. If you are his corner, I would assume you'd want that to happen once again. And just to let you know, if your legs are tied up like that, John, it is so difficult to make something happen in 2 minutes time when that happens. Because you think about it, your 1 minute that you're stuck there takes away a lot of time to do offense.
Yes, I mean the point of that one, and we saw that we see that with a lot of Dagestani fighters that are good with that technique, is it just makes it so hard to get back to your feet, right? When your feet are wrapped up by somebody's legs and their hips are, especially if they're starting to get above your knees, you can't put your feet underneath you and stand up. So that control is really stifling for the bottom player. And here we go with round number 2. We'll see if that pace took a toll on either fighter, and Abdul immediately in on, it looks like he's got a, double leg. He locks up next to the hands underneath the butt. This is a really strong takedown. Pulls Carlos's hips away from the cage and is able to set him on his butt. Locks up that same double.
He is looking for it. The problem is this time Carlos did make an adjustment. He did try to bring his knee in, and I think that Abdul timed him out very well to get the mount.
Yeah, and beautiful job getting the mount, too. And this is looking really bad for Carlos because this is still pretty early in the round. There's still about a minute and 20 seconds left to go. And Abdul looking to lock up an Americana, potentially?
It might be just kind of
setup.
A setup. He might be using it to kind of bait something else, maybe take the back from here, but he's got the opportunity to start dropping down some shots, but instead continues on with the pressure, staying very low, even as Carlos is trying to buck him off. I think he recognizes the more time he spends in this mount position, the more it's going to exhaust Carlos for either the benefit of a third round or for making sure that his offense is going to become a little more depleted as they go.
Yeah, man, now get pushed back into the half guard. If Carlos can get anything going here, definitely much better than the position he was in earlier where he was fully mounted. But just with the legs nice and loose here on bottom, it's not really holding Abdul in there. A lot of times the top player, especially for MMA, if you guys are jiu-jitsu guys at home, stepping back into half guard is really strong to keep the bottom person on the bottom, which is a terrible place to be in MMA. In jiu-jitsu, usually being past the guard is a better way to do it, or it's a more dominant position for rules. But in MMA, this really is
and he's
great
just
at keeping the guy down.
Seeing the beginnings of what could have been a head and arm choke, but does run out of time for the second round. But again, this is a big concern if you're Carlos's corner coming into this third round. There's been two very, very easy-looking takedowns that happen. So if you're his corner, you have to be aware of that, and you have to tell him, like, you probably do want to put this back into that chaos that you had in those first few seconds in that first round, at the very least to put it on your terms. Because if you leave that lower half open and you don't sprawl at the right time, that dude's going to be able to control your legs and as a result push you up against the cage.
Yeah, curious to see how this one goes. I mean, the very initial flurry in round one was pretty wild, and both fighters were connecting.
Yes.
So. And that's something that if you're Abdul's corner, you probably don't want that flurry to happen because your fighter could get knocked out potentially. As of where when he gets into the ground, he's controlling very well.
This is one of the few times as a coach you might not say yes to when your student, your fighter says, "Let me bang, bro," and you say, "No, not today.
Not today."
Take him down, then you can bang all you want to."
Absolutely,
bro.
Yeah, in this instance, that it would not be the smart game plan for Abdul. But as you said, Carlos, this would be a smart game plan. It's better than being controlled.
Ooh.
Yeah, jumping on this single leg, that one looked a little dicey in the beginning. Now, much better control.
But he stays with it, John. That's the most impressive thing. That was a slip for a few seconds that could have been huge for Carlos if he was able to sprawl out. But I think what happens is fatigue sets in. I think sometimes he's also slipping a little bit. But he's back up on his feet.
Beautiful side butterfly sweep, the Yokozuna Geisha there.
If there was ever a time you needed that.
Man, and used it to great effect, got back to the feet, and now is trying to take it to him in the stand-up.
Yeah,
I mean, if Carlos can do anything. He's got his work cut out for him. He's got just over a minute left to go. It's the last round, so he's got to make something happen here. He's potentially down 2 rounds to nothing.
You know, this is an interesting thing. I'm seeing him kick a lot more, and I wonder if that's to keep maybe Abdul a little bit more at bay so that he doesn't rush in for the takedown at this point.
Yes, interesting, though, too. Still standing really tall, which is not great if you're looking to throw punches and not get taken down. And, of course, shooting in immediately. Abdul's doing a fantastic job. If I'm in his corner, I'm very happy. He's closing that distance well. He's getting the fight to the ground where he's controlling the entire fight. He's doing just a great job. And
what a great angle he's cut each time, John. Like, he has found that 45-degree angle entry and just kind of almost surprised Carlos. Carlos trying to lock up a choke here, but again, you would probably want to start working on those butterflies to help assist you to maybe come up on top.
Yeah, I mean, using it to sweep at this point would probably be a better idea, but, only 20 seconds left to go, trying to get a finish.
Yeah.
He's most assuredly going to lose this, even if he ends up in a dominant position. He's got to go for broken, look for a finish. But this is the way you learn. So a lot of good things to take away from this match from both fighters and get back to the drawing board after this one's done. Looks like this one's going to play out just right here.
And that is going to be the conclusion of our very first fight here, first of 19. So please grab some drinks, grab some food, make yourself comfortable.
Yes.
We're going to be here all night, but a very interesting way to start. And you know what's great about it is, I looked at that and I just saw somebody in Abdul's corner who is a very solid jiu-jitsu practitioner. And you could see where that came in handy here, that ability to control, to maintain. And you could see it on the back of Carlos's, like, the redness that is on his back. I mean, I think he got scratched up a little bit against the cage. Man, it just shows you how effective that strategy was to just continuously put that pressure on him.
Yeah, and great wrestling, too. Just getting making it look effortless, consistently getting the fight to the ground where he was dominating. This is like a picture-perfect game plan and executed very, very well.
But we can also acknowledge what great artwork the tattoo artist was doing in creating that dragon over there for Carlos, so shout out to him. Looks like a dragon with a mohawk, or at least some anime hair. Can't really figure that out either way, but still looks very, very cool. We now go to the cage for our official decision to be read.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. We have our decision. All 3 judges cage side scored the bout 29-28 in favor of our winner by unanimous decision, the blue corner, Abdulsalam